Hey, it's Randy tbird out here in Arizona on Sunday, November 28th. A little brisk this morning, temperature in the 50s. Just trying to make the most of my 4-day weekend. Had a good Thanksgiving and got to do some things this week, and it's been a busy week. Rode the quad, had a big Thanksgiving dinner. Went to a bike show yesterday, entered my bike, didn't win anything, but I didn't really expect to. It was just nice to be around it. Check it out, the bikes, watch the dyno runs, and videos up if you're interested. I've done a video a day for the last 4 days, so for me that's a lot. So just out riding on this Sunday morning, beautiful day. Fall and time in Arizona. Winter everywhere else, but now it's fall here. I actually wear my leather jacket for the first time this season. It's just a little brisk, just a leather over my t-shirt, so it's not, terrible cold. And I always carry a couple other pairs of gloves with me, so I've got some heavier gloves if it gets that cold, but got the leather out today. I've had these gloves, I bought at a BMW dealership, back in the early 90s, and they've been awesome gloves all these years. I think they were deerskin, but they are broken in just perfectly for me, so it's hard to want to switch. They're a little warm in the summer here, so I have to switch to more ventilated gloves. I don't know about you all, but I have several pairs of gloves, and it's always an elusive search for gloves that fit you perfectly. I have large palms and short fingers, so that always makes it weird. I look like I'm flipping people off going down the road on some gloves as the tips fly up in the air. Again, if I sound a little nasally, I'm still fighting off the effects of that head cold that I had. It's going on 2 weeks now. It's getting old, but I'm on the upswing, so it's not too bad. Again, it's a beautiful day. Traffic don't look too bad so far. I haven't got on the freeway yet, but I do cross over it. Oh, this is that long light. Black Friday weekend. Everybody's got the sales going on and things of that nature. I gotta admit, I did make an online purchase. I bought a pair of jeans. I hate going to the stores anymore, and they never really have the size I want anyway, so bought it online and got a good deal on it. Saved about 10-12 bucks. Gotta have those discounts. As my wife and I say, it's all about the discount. Beautiful day. I closed my screen here. This Shoei is very quiet compared to my Arai. Kind of like that. You still get wind noise, but you are hurtling through the atmosphere at, basically outside a vehicle, so you're going to get some noise. It doesn't matter. But I've had some really loud helmets over time, and those helmets, I've had an LS2 that was the loudest thing I think I'd ever had in my head. It was like being inside a sandblaster. If you've ever done any commercial sandblasting and they get you in that suit that has the air feed to it, it sounds like a hurricane blowing through. Anyhow, seen a lot of bikes for sale here lately, a lot of used bikes. They must be selling new bikes because there are a ton of used bikes at the dealerships. and they want a lot of money for them. I think they're getting more for used bikes than they are for new ones right now. And I know that when you go to buy one, you can actually get better financing deals on the new ones than you can the used ones. And that's kind of a weird situation to me, but you know, I don't know what the margins are. Maybe they're making all their money on used bikes and, you know, blowing out the new ones. You know, the new model years are coming up for a lot of manufacturers. Harley's in January, I guess. And I don't know. I need a new bike like a hole in the head, but you know how I am. So I do like new things, but this one's going to have to stay with me for a while. And it's not like I'm suffering here. I got a great motorcycle, so I'm enjoying that. If I could have a combination of the bikes that I've had, that all the good things combined into one, I think I could have the perfect motorcycle. But if that exists, you know, the power of the 114 and the Street Bob, the comfort of the Heritage, the classic style of the Slim, you know, awesome combination of vehicles there, huh? I toyed with the idea of taking the quad out again today, but I decided I just wanted to ride the Harley today. It's a tough life, having those kind of choices. But, out here in Arizona, being outside is a big part of living here, and I really enjoy being outside. I like being out in the desert, I like being in the forest, and I like being on the roads. So that sometimes makes a difficult choice. You know, I meant to go out and shoot my guns the other day and actually forgot them. After I loaded the quad up and got ready to go, I got about 15 miles out and realized I had not taken any of the guns out of the cases and got them ready to go. So another time. Got about 4 or 5 months of really tremendous weather up here coming up. So we're gonna have lots of time, you know. Maybe we'll take the quads out, take the pistols out, and just go right around and shoot some targets, and maybe, you know, have a nice day trip. A friend of mine just bought a Yamaha Wolverine four-wheeler, and maybe he'll go out for the day somewhere and just putter around and sit around and have a few drinks and some lunch. And it sounds like a fun day to me. I don't know about you. What do you all do in the winter out there when it's cold and it's can't ride? Do you build bikes, or you just go to shows or whatever? I don't know. I can't imagine. I mean, I did live in Colorado for 2 winters, and there's only really 1 month of the year I didn't ride, and that was in February. And it seemed like around Denver, February was an awful month. It was cold and icy. And they did have a big bike show up in Denver, the Denver show and swap that they have at the rodeo grounds. And that was always a big deal. That was like a 3-day event. A friend of mine always showed his bike, so we'd get in on Thursday night for setup, and they had a massive swap meet that was like the size of a Kmart. And that was always fun. I remember I had an FXR back in those days, and it was always needing something. So the 1 year, I went there 2 years. 1 year I had a pocket full of money. You'd think I'd find something to buy. I could not. And other years I'd find great deals on things and didn't have enough money. So it was kind of a situation. And it seems to be, me and swap meets are like that. It's hit or miss. A lot of traffic on the 101 today. The 101 could be a downright racetrack some days. They had speed cameras out here several years ago, and they were finding the average speed to be 91 miles an hour. I mean, you're in town on a freeway, dude. You know, why are you going 91 miles an hour? And that's old ladies and people in minivans with 5 kids in the car, and the soccer team, and people in old clunker cars that have no business going that fast. shitty old brakes and things of that nature. You know, why? Yeah, I guess people like to go fast. The roads are in good shape, but it's still, people are stupid, and they do stupid things, and so you got to be careful. Used to be, you could take this up to Shea Boulevard. Actually, before this freeway existed, there was Pima Road, which was kind of on the edge of Scottsdale, and you could go up to Shea Boulevard, and once you got past 92nd Street, there wasn't a single stoplight until you got to Fountain Hills. It used to be a nice ride. Now it's like the middle of Scottsdale, and there's this traffic light every half mile or even less, and it's just not that of enjoyable of a ride anymore. It used to be the old the Frank Lloyd Wright summer or winter home, Taliesin West is out there, and that used to be a ride out to the desert to see that place, and that's all, you know, town now around it. Like, it used to be a ride back in the 70s to Fountain Hills by itself. You know, we felt lucky to get there on our old clunky bikes, but it was about a 30-mile ride from where we lived, and we'd always celebrate when we get there and back when nobody broke down. Anyhow, just out for a ride. I'll probably record a little bit more later, and we'll see how that goes. This is Randy tbird out in Arizona, and we'll talk to you a little bit soon. Hey, it's Randy back. Just riding through some farm country here. It smells so good. The freshly tilled dirt just has that wet smell to it. Just really beautiful out here today. Right here on the edge of the reservation. Looks like a big school out there or something. Just a nice bit out here, close to the city but away from it at the same time. It's an anomaly of some kind. Nice light traffic out here. Again, beautiful morning, not a cloud in the sky. We're going to have temperatures right around 80 the rest of the week. 50s for low and low 50s, and then right around 80. But that's beautiful. That's gorgeous weather. Got a Triumph 660. I haven't seen one of those on the road yet. Pretty cool. Has a nice kind of a aggressive stance to it. I guess you probably figured out by now that I'm really into motorcycles. Always have been. And I just like everything that's out there. So, which, you know, allows me to amuse myself by going to different shops and looking at different things, riding a few things. Yeah, so I think when the Triumph demo truck gets here this year, I'm going to go ride a few of those and maybe do a little quick first impression type thing video. Yeah. The one I'm interested in riding here, another one is a Kawasaki 650Z. Z650 is a retro styled version using the 650 Ninja motor, which is a great motor. They use that in several different bikes and they race it flat track, and it's actually won some races. A local guy that rides for the JD Beach, rides for the Entinson's team, has won some races on the Kawasaki here in the American Flat Track here recently, and it's good to see local people doing well. Flat track racing, if you haven't been to that, is pretty awesome. You know, watching these guys go 130 miles an hour on dirt and kicking it sideways, and the racing has been tight all year. We had the Arizona Mile out here. It was at the Turf Paradise horse track. For a few years, the riders didn't like the track, and I guess it was really loose and almost dangerous. What is this guy doing? Get around him. And then they had the Arizona Super TT, which actually that guy JD Beach won that year. Only way I could describe this track is it was like a smooth motocross track, and there was some tight racing on that too. It was pretty cool. They didn't get the kind of speeds that you get on the mile or the half mile, but it's pretty awesome. And I guess you can watch these on TV. There's some sports stations, but if you haven't checked it out, check out American Flat Track Racing. It is the quintessential motorcycle sport. I mean, Harley literally owned it for years, and then when the XR 750 got long in the tooth, they were still racing until a couple of years ago and winning a race here and there. Then they switched over to that XG, which is based on the street model, which I don't know. It was the best sounding bike on the track, but it just didn't win anything. And the Indian FTR 750s just dominate now, and anybody with any talent in the top running is running one of those now. And they're pretty awesome too. That was a purpose-built bike, and Harley tried to convert a street bike motor to that, and it just didn't work. I hope they come up with something else. Maybe a smaller version of this new Revolution Max motor, and they could build that and make it run. When the first American Flat Track first came making a comeback, they had a race up in Prescott, Arizona, Prescott Downs, and there was like 6 or 7 different brands running. There was Ducati, KTM, Kawasaki, Harley, Indian. I wasn't Indian back then yet, but Triumph was even running. A couple people running Triumphs, and some guys running some vintage. A lot of XR 750s and whatever. But that venue went bankrupt, so they didn't ever have it there again. I was not fortunate enough to make it to that one, but I did enjoy the ones at Turf Paradise, and they didn't have a round here last year, and it doesn't look like they're going to have one here this year, so we miss out. But you can make a trip over to California. They have the San Jose Mile, which is a great thing. But if you're into motorcycle racing, there is not more pure form of visceral racing than flat track. Pretty awesome. And you get to hear V-twins at 130 miles an hour. That is freaking cool. Anyway, just out here enjoying the day, and thought I would just share the ride with you a little bit. But I'm going to be turning off here pretty soon, and we're going to let you go. This is Randy T-Bird. Don't forget to subscribe and like my videos, share. I appreciate it. You all take it easy.